by our sponsors: William Richmond Inc., Chesapeake's Bounty, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNellis Group Properties, the Southern Maryland Food Truck Festival, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, and G&H Jewelers. Live from the JB Weather Center, this is a Weather Alert Update. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Forecaster John Bordash, still with you here in the Weather Center. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for southern Calvert County, central St. Mary's, and southern Charles County here until 3:30. This line of storms continues to strengthen and is really bringing some pretty gnarly weather across the core part of our viewing area. We have seen a decent amount of heavy rain, winds to 60 to 70 miles per hour, and 1-inch hail move through. And really, we've been seeing some of the worst weather here in parts of Calvert County here, just taking you back through some of the radar images here. You can see as this line has pushed to the south, you can see how we developed a decent hail core here, representative here by that dark brown color with some of those pinks showing up. And now this is beginning to push further to the south, moving through Blues, beginning to the Chesapeake Range States, Solomons, and then here through parts of St. Mary's County. Currently, Hollywood, Loveville, Bushwood, Chaptico, on over towards Cobb Island. You're seeing some of the worst weather right now, and this is getting ready to move into the Avenue area, down towards Leonardtown, getting into California, Lexington Park, Callaway, Valley Lee, Park Hall, Piney Point. All of these locations here, over the next little bit, we'll continue to see, we'll see this weather move through, and this line extends back into King George County, into parts of Northern Virginia here, as this continues here to push to the south and east. I see that Teresa is saying that there are lots of cars stopped on Route 4 in Lesbian. I do 100% see why, because it's raining rather heavily, and we are seeing a decent amount of bad weather begin to push in. What I do want to go ahead and try to do is see if we can't just get our MDOT cameras loaded up here. See if we can take a look at these cameras as these storms continue to push to the south and east here. And really rocking parts of southern Calvert County, central parts of St. Mary's, and southern Charles County, on over towards Cobb Island. So really from about Lesbian to Hollywood to Loveville, on over towards Cobb Island, right now looks to be we're looking at some of the worst weather. I do want to go ahead and take a look to see if we can't just get a view of these storms coming in, and I think we can. Let me see if I can take us over to the right camera here. This is a look at the Thomas Johnson Bridge here, on out here towards this is on the St. Mary's County side, looking towards Calvert County. You can see almost how we're looking at some of these. I'm going to see if I can't just use it that way. You can see how we're looking at some of these darkening of the clouds. There we go. This kind of allows you to see a little bit better here looking at my screen. Yeah, back out here towards the Calvert County side, you can see the darkening of those clouds. And as we kind of zoom out here, let's take a look at some of our other cameras. On over here towards Leonardtown, see if that can't just show us something. You can see, I mean, it's clear on out here towards Leonardtown, but I mean, these storms are really beginning to move on in. Let's see if we can get some of our 301 cameras loaded up here. These aren't really showing what I want to show. I mean, this here kind of shows you can see the darkening of the clouds here as you go across that 301 bridge, across parts of the Potomac River, getting on over towards the Newburgh area, down towards Cobb Island eventually. And we will continue to watch this, as this is a pretty impressive line of thunderstorms continuing to push here to the south and east. I want to take us on over towards our level 2 radar. This really, I mean, really shows, if we come back here a couple of frames, and this wants to work with me, not so much against me. You can see where we had a little bit of a hail core develop. Now the worst of this is pushing on over towards the Chesapeake Bay, eventually getting into southern Dorchester County. But we're seeing this line really continuing to hold its own. We're seeing probably another hail core over here towards Cobb Island. That's what this lightning's telling me, the darker colors here on radar. Taking a look over towards our estimated hail size, let that load up here. Let's see if we can't just get that to load, and I'm sure it won't want to. So what I will do instead is take it over here and let that software reboot as we typically do here on the live stream. So what you can see here, this is a look at the hail history here over the last hour, and where you see this pink or this blue color here as you kind of come down Route 4, that shows we've had a decent amount of hail, and we really see the uptick here, that brightening of the color. That's over 1-inch size hail with this as it moved to the Lesby area, now coming across the Chesapeake Bay, so over towards Cove Point, probably seeing some of the hail, a little bit of the heaviest rain, and now we're looking at a new hail core developing down here as it begins to come into the Cobb Island region. That's what these colors are telling me as well. And you can really see this line continuing to push here to the south and east. Let's take it back on over here to our other software here. Let's get reflectivity loaded up. Let's take it back over here. And you can really see how this line really just kind of extends from our region down to the Richmond area, continuing to push down to the south and east. And we're seeing plenty of lightning over towards Lesby and the Cove Point area. And then that secondary area really coming together here over towards Cobb Island, getting ready to push into Avenue, the Bushwood area, getting over here towards the Leonardtown area as well. So do keep that in mind. Let's get a storm track on all of this, show you kind of what we're talking about in terms of timing. If you're down towards southern St. Mary's County, you're probably saying, what's going on? I don't see much of anything going on. And after this line clears you, you're not talking about much more. I mean, on over towards Waldorf, we'll play to Chesapeake Beach. You are in the clear from this, so there won't be multiple lines that move through. It'll just be the one line. I'm going to take this at 25 miles an hour this way, and this kind of gives you an idea of that timing. Solomons, this is really getting ready to push into your region just about now, getting over towards Leonardtown by about 3 o'clock, California 3:04, getting towards Valley Lee by about 3:20, Tappahannock eventually in about the next 40 minutes or so, and down towards Scotland here in about 30 minutes to an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So stay weather aware. This will continue here to push to the south and east, plenty of lightning, and we're seeing a decent amount of heavy rain and winds upwards of 60 to 65 miles an hour with this line. I do want to go ahead and see if we can't just get our wind potential estimator loaded up here. Oh, that really zoomed us in. And what we're talking about is winds upwards of 50 to 60 miles an hour really all throughout this line. And I think we really do have kind of two areas we're watching right now for some of the worst weather. One is over here, and that might be hard to see. That's pushing now into parts of Dorchester County, but the other area over here towards Cobb Island is going to be pushing into the Leonardtown, Callaway Valley, Lee, Lexington Park, California areas. So stay weather aware. This will continue, I think, to bring some pretty gnarly weather to much of the region here over the next half hour to 45 minutes as this continues to push on through. Kelly's saying on over towards St. Andrews Church Road there in St. Mary's County looking pretty ugly. And I'm sure you can, out ahead of these storms, you can see the darkening skies. You can probably hear some of the thunder off in the distance. Yeah, I mean, we were looking at some of the some pretty bad weather out here towards Port Republic and Prince Frederick earlier as this line continued to really kind of push in. Let's take you on a 1 hour loop to show you. Yeah, these storms moving rather quick. You can see how they push right into the Prince Frederick area down towards Port Republic with some nasty weather, and that hail core here represented by those darker colors continue to push down Route 4, and you can see where we got that brief representation of pink here on Lesby. That is representative of over 1 inch size hail that continued to move through and is now just off the coastline here of Cove Point. But now we're getting another hail core likely getting together in Cobb Island, and an additional one over here towards Index in Virginia getting ready to push into Westmoreland counties. This is all continuing to push down towards the south and east and will continue to do so. Let's see, pouring in Lesby with ground lightning, very dark here on the Leonardtown, California border, and Stacy says that we are looking at it's crazy on over towards Cove Point. And Cove Point, I mean, with this cell here, this leading cell, the northern cell, this was the initial area that had prompted the severe thunderstorm watch and really kind of kicked everything off and definitely did bring some pretty bad weather. Really kind of followed Route 4 down here, down towards Cove Point. And now, yeah, that's where some of the worst weather is. And then I think the next area we're really going to have to watch is this area here in Cobb Island that's pushing into Bushwood Avenue, getting over towards Breton Bay, the Leonardtown area, right there along the Potomac River shoreline there in St. Mary's County, as this continues to push down to the south and east. You can see plenty of lightning with this, back out here towards Index, plenty of lightning. Thunder in Leonardtown, and it's very dark outside, and this will continue to push on through. The National Weather Service warning text for us right now does show that the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 3:30 for central St. Mary's and southeastern Calvert County and south central Charles counties. And again, that's till 3:30. At 2:57, the severe thunderstorms were located along the line extending from Calvert Cliffs to Colonial Beach in Virginia and moving east at 20 miles per hour. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail have been reported. And locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Lexington Park, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, Leonardtown, on over towards Calvert Cliffs, Greenwell State Park, St. Leonard Creek, St. Clements Bay, Town Creek, the Wicomico River, White Point Beach, California, Lusby, the Protection River Naval Air Station, Hollywood, St. Leonard, Drum Point, Long Beach, Cobb Island, and Rock Point. So for your protection, you will want to move into an interior room on the lowest floor of your building. And the National Weather Service is actually indicating maybe the potential for some upper level rotation with this. So we'll go ahead and check out that potential as well. That tornado threat has been rather low today. It's been kind of contained, and I could definitely see where maybe we have a couple areas of that upper level rotation, and these are the areas I currently see that if we're looking for rotation that I'd be looking at. We're talking out over here, now over the bay, but this is what it just pushed through Lusby and Cove Point, where we can get these greens and those reds kind of touching. That indicates a twisting and turning of the winds. That's now out over the bay, but an additional area I'm going to be watching is over here towards Cobb Island. We see a secondary area of rotation here that's getting ready to push into Avenue on over towards the Leonardtown area. So we will continue to watch this. I'm not necessarily concerned about the tornado potential today, but that threat is never zero. It's always non-zero, and that wasn't the main threat for us today, but we will continue to watch this, and if we do see a warning, we'll bring that to you live here, and we'll stay with you as these storms continue to push down here to the south and east. This is a pretty significant line of storms that's pushing through, and I think we will continue to watch this line as it continues here to push down to the south and east, and really kind of continues to hold on to its strength here. Yeah, Megan saying, what a storm. Let's see, Angel Nasty. Yeah, here's some thunder now. Aaron's reporting, and it's pouring in Hollywood, according to Judy. Yeah, we definitely see this line of thunderstorms continuing to push down to the south and east. So in California, Lexington Park, down towards Callaway, down towards St. Mary City, stay weather aware as this line continues here to push down to the south and east. I'm going to get a look here. Yeah, if we can take you on over here to our last graphics. Yeah, here, you can. This is a look over towards Leonardtown 5 at 2:43. You can see the heavy rain just coming down here as this line continues here to push to the south and east. Let's take a look at our Thomas Johnson Bridge camera, see if that can't just show us something. Not seeing nasty weather as of yet on out here. Let's take a look down towards our California cameras. Not seeing too much going on just yet, but I'm sure we're going to see that change here in a little bit. Let's take a look back over here to our yeah, so the only camera we're really getting any action on right now is over here in Leonardtown, Route 5 at 2:43. You can see the heavy rain beginning to fall in that area. So let's take it back over here. And yeah, that's Southern Storm right now. That's getting ready to push into the Leonardtown area, really producing the majority of our lightning. This storm alone is producing 37 strikes of 37 strikes of lightning. Really getting ready to move over here towards the Brighton Bay area. And yeah, I mean, that would definitely be a little bit of rotation we're seeing right now, getting ready to push into the Avenue area. Yeah, that's. Let's take a look at that. Let me kind of show you what I'm looking at here, where we're getting these. Where we're getting these greens, that would be wind toward the radar. Red would be winds away from the radar, so where we can get a couplet of green and red touching together, a tight couplet, that could be indicative of some rotation, and that is indeed what we're seeing out here down towards the Avenue area. So we might need to be on guard here in St. Mary's County for maybe a little bit of rotation. That's why we want to be moving into an interior room. That's why we're going to be wanting to get on the lowest level of your home or of your business or wherever you are if this does indeed try to spin up a quick tornado. We are on guard for that. We are very much aware of that potential. Nothing confirmed right now, no tornado warning right now, but this is something to watch. And you can even see here on radar a little bit where we're getting a little bit of an appendage trying to form as we begin to get some wind coming in here, and we have wind coming down around on the leeward or on the backward side there. So that's going to be something we continue to watch with this as it continues to push south and east. So do be ready. Leonardtown, Callaway Avenue, this region, you do want to stay weather aware. And you do want to take, I would take maybe your tornado safety precautions, even though we don't have a tornado warning. We do have some indications of some rotation, and we, in the very least, do have some gusty winds with this up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. To really kind of get a look at this, what I want to do is switch gears here. This is going to be our level 2 analyst radar, if I can get you on over there. I think that's going to be this one here. Yeah, I have a split screen right now to kind of show us what we're looking at. And yeah, it's going to be this area right in here. And you can see the radar here, the velocity here. We're talking about this right near the Avenue area. One wants to know how we're seeing rotation with radar. We are just using base velocity here, buddy, here through the Sterling radar. So we are watching this potential. Is it a tight couplet? Not necessarily. It's not the best couplet I've seen, but this is the potential maybe for some mid to upper level rotation. We do have some reports of some gusty winds, 42 mile per hour wind gusts measured at the Thomas Johnson Bridge, and we have a report of tree damage as well on over towards St. Leonard. A tree is down on Maple Road near Mattapeake Court. I think I said that correctly. But let's take it back over to this radar because this is kind of easier to see here. Really kind of presents things as well. So this is really going to be the area we're watching. In addition to maybe a little bit of rotation, what I want to take a look at quickly is our estimated hail size here. And we are registering a little bit of hail, potentially up over ½ inch in size south of Bushwood here, right up along the Potomac River here in St. Mary's County. Let's take that off, and you can see that here by those darker colors. Lots of lightning here with these storms as they continue here to push to the south and east. And I would definitely be ready for some gusty winds, heavy rain, again, plenty of lightning. And this shouldn't last too long in any one location. We're probably talking about it lasting probably about half an hour or so. So you will definitely want to stay weather aware as these move through, but behind this, not much is going to be going on. See, John is reporting it just got darker, and the wind is picking up here in Lexington Park. No rain just yet. Yeah, in Lexington Park, this is just out ahead of you. This is pushing down to the south and east. And with the general eastward movement here, we would be watching this one cell, this one in particular here, that could potentially be trying to have a little bit of mid-level rotation with it. It's going to be pushing east here at about, we know they're moving about 25 miles per hour, 20-25 at 103. So generally we're talking, this would be the area to we might see the worst of this line of storms push through Callaway, Valley Lee, St. Mary City on over towards Park Hall here over the next half hour, 45 minutes as this continues here to push to the south and east. Velocity continues to show maybe a little bit of a couplet here over towards the Avenue area where we have these greens and these reds touching in this manner here, maybe a little bit of rotation. The Thomas Johnson Bridge getting completely dark on the other side. Thank you for that, Dawn. So we will, again, continue to watch this, especially up here along the water. It's easy for these storms here on the Potomac River to get a little bit of a hint of rotation as they move up along that lack of land and lack of friction really allows for winds to try to spin up a little bit. So that will be something that we continue to watch as these storms push here to the south and east. I haven't seen any other signs of rotation here with the southern part of the line. Maybe a little bit out here getting into parts of Westmoreland County. Maybe something to watch. But I think the only real credible area of rotation to watch right now looks rather broad, but it's here in parts of St. Mary's County, right up on the Potomac River here, down at the opening of Breton Bay. And we will continue to watch that. But back behind this, very little is going on. Out up towards Prince Frederick, cutting down La Plata, you're probably seeing that not much is going on right now. Ginger is reporting that it's rather windy on over towards Avenue, and that's really where we're looking at some of the worst weather right now. Plenty of lightning down that way, plenty of heavy rain, and those gusty winds continuing to stick around for you. So again, stay weather aware as these storms continue to push through. Let's see, storming with hail in Newburgh down by Cobb Island. Yeah, we definitely saw that move through that region with potentially upwards of an inch-size hail for you. And yeah, even our rotation tracker here, I'm going to go ahead and switch it back to not that radar, this radar here. Let me turn off the severe thunderstorm warning because I can kind of get in the way a little bit. Where you see this uptick in color here, this would be an area of potential rotation. This could be a potential rotation track for you. This isn't necessarily saying that we have a tornado on the ground, but this is just radar keeping a history of where we have a potential rotation couplet. And you can see it's really kind of hugging the bay here. And we saw that earlier rotation couplet, like we were talking about a little bit ago, kind of move through parts of Cove Point. So we're going to get these brighter yellows, and even if we get some reds in here, that would be indicative of where we've seen some rotation with these storms. And the mean estimated hail continuing to kind of focus there from about Cobb Island, now getting over towards the Avenue area. So you will want to stay weather aware again as these storms continue to push through. And I'm kind of sounding like a broken record here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and break away. If we get any new warnings, we're going to be watching that storm down towards Avenue. I'll be back here with you live to keep you updated, so stay tuned to Facebook and Twitter for the latest information. But in the meantime, I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Please have a safe one, stay weather aware, and keep it tuned right here